Genshin Impact is a game that I've devoted a lot of time to. And I mean, like, a lot, like over 300 hours a lot. So when I was playing Honkai Star Rail the other day, in my prison cell, for bad Genshin takes from 3 years ago, and studying quadratic formulas as my punishment, if you know, you know, I had an epiphany. Why is Honkai Star Rail way better than Genshin? And I know that a lot of angry body pillow virgins are gonna be mad at me for saying that, but don't worry, I'm one of you. I'm one of you. I'm on your side. And I know you're gonna sit there and be like, oh, my waifus, they're my waifus for lifeu. Well, anyway, all I gotta say is silence, liberal. I know that a lot of people don't like to talk bad about this game. Yes, because obviously, like, content creators are giving them the old glizzy overdrive and all that, and sit there and want to defend them for everything because they get that easy $20 every now and then for saying, ooh, Genshin good. Yes, I'm telling you why I believe Honkai Star Rail is way better than Genshin. The first and most obvious thing that comes to, oh, why is Honkai so much better than Genshin? Holy hell, it is the resin. The resin in this game sucks. I don't care what anyone says. Time getting people to play your game sucks. Yes, I know Honkai has the same thing where you have around the same, but they also have a one, everything's way cheaper, and two, you get a lot more rewards for that resin. So it kind of counteracts the whole grinding thing. Like, I think about 1 day's worth in Honkai is like double of Genshin because of the drops and stuff. It should not be 2 boss materials for 40 resin. And sometimes you'll get lucky and get 3. Yeah, cool. But you know, in Honkai Star Rail, you get like 5, sometimes 6, I think, at max rank, if I'm not wrong. Which is like literally like double, almost 2.5 at that point. It's like, bro, what? Anyway, I know that a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, but, no, shut up. Unless you're Enviosity, who sits there and farms mint and berries all day, the game literally time gates you. Like, I'm sorry to tell you that, but it's just a fact. The game time gates you. It's like, oh, you're out of resin? Well, you better wait, buddy. Time to get sucking on that glug glug from Genshin to give you some, what is it, fragile resin or whatever it's called. Like, no. The game should just not have that in the game. It should be way cheaper and a lot easier to farm, because some things, oof, like I say later on, like Crimson Witch is literally, I hope whoever made that domain burns in hell with Crimson Witch. Anyway, yes, there is a lot of things that Genshin does good, like maps, like the whole world basically, all the exploring and all that. But on its resin system and leveling system, I think it's probably like the worst thing in the game. It should not take me about 3 or 4 days just to get someone ranked up. And also, in Honkai, I didn't play the game for a month. I didn't know this system was coming out, but apparently they increased the resin from 160 to 180, which is one thing. But they also made it so if you were AFK for over your limit, they would give you extra resin that you could use, up to 2,000, which makes you feel like you hit a lottery and you're a millionaire, because you have so much materials that you could sit there and waste your time using and all that. But when you go back to Genshin, they're like, oh, here's 2 fragile resin that you can use that will make you get maybe a day's worth of extra resin. Cool. Like, what? No. What is that? That makes no sense to me. I feel like they should increase the amount of resin then, like the amount of fragile resin, if they're gonna keep that as the system. The next thing in Genshin that really grinds my gears, if you know, you know, is that stupid piece of shit strongbox system. Like, has anyone ever gotten anything good out of this thing? I swear that I have, like, there is zero chance to get double crit on any of it. Well, unless you get, like, a defense main stat, then it's like, haha, yeah, great, and I can use that on Ito and no one else. Thanks, game. Unless you're fucking Noelle main. It's just a really shitty system that makes you waste about 1.5 of your 40 resin, so I guess like 60th resin for one artifact. It's like, oh boy, thanks game. I don't know. I just find it really stupid, and Honkai has this thing where you can use the strongbox type system, but instead of doing that where you turn 3 into 1 and all that, you scrap the relics or get the materials from events and turn them into the artifact that you want. You can choose which one you want and all that. And there's no like time gate for the newer ones like they do in Genshin. And you can choose your stats. There's an item that you can get from like certain endgame activities and events that just let you choose the stat you want, which a majority of people are going to use on orbs because holy fuck, why is there so many different types of orbs? And the RNG on them is like always ass for some reason. Like, it's just a way better system to use them, like just scrap the old ones, because you get like, I think, an extra artifact for each 40 resin compared to Genshin's. Because in Genshin, most of the time you get 2, and a majority of the time at max rank, at least I am, you get majority of the time 3. At least I'm getting lucky, at least, and getting mostly 3s. So it just feels like a way better system than Genshin overall for artifact grinding too. The last thing I want to talk about in our little tirade against Google Classroom, Genshin Impact, is the stupid ass Mario Party mini games that they time gate for a whole week. Like every single event is time gated except for like multiplayer ones. Like, why are they well, I know why they're time gating them. It's so people want to hop in every day and be like, oh, I gotta do this stupid event. When a majority of people I know just sit there and wait until the whole event's out and then complete it all in like an hour. Like, why would you sit there and want to do 1/5 of an event each day instead of just waiting and doing the whole event at once? Like the most recent one with the whole poem story quest thing where you had to wait, like, it was like, oh yeah, you get to shoot these pots for a day and then you finish it in like 5 minutes, the entire mini games and pictures and all that, and then you have to wait like 3 days to do the next part. No. Like, why? Majority of Honkai's events are not time gated, especially like the major ones that the whole like season's about. Basically most of them are like, have fun. It's like 2 or 3 hours of gameplay that last a while, especially that new one with like where you play as the enemies and it's basically like a Pokemon event. It's like really cool. I do know that the most recent one, the simulated universe thing or whatever, where you basically get these weird modified versions of relics, is time gated, but it's like the only one, at least that I've remembered, that has been time gated, which is like a huge relief to me, like that a majority of them are not time gated. As soon as I saw this one was time gated, I was like, oh no, please don't go down this path. I was like, please, I don't want to sit here and wait 10 years to get a fucking event done. Just let me do it all at once. However, it is a lot more fun and challenging than most Genshin events. Because even with some of the stuff, like especially the second one, where it just gives you like, it's literally just all occurrences instead of like actual fighting and blessings and stuff, it is a pain to do. Like, I don't know why. I just kept struggling because it kept giving me like Remembrance, the worst fucking uh, path to choose basically, and I was like, oh great, fun, thanks game. When I have like no ice characters except for Jinglu, so no one can freeze really. It's like, gee, thanks game, I really love that. Anyway, yeah, I just feel like a lot of events in Honkai Star Rail just majority of the time are way better. Okay, last little thing I forgot to add in before while editing this is why is there not a quick battle type thing in Genshin yet? I should not have to sit there and waste about 30 minutes out of my day because half the time I'm farming the piece of shit Crimson Witch set to do stupid ass domains. They should have an auto battle feature already. Sorry, I'm a little special and retarded. They need to have an auto battle feature that makes it so you can speedrun that shit. I don't even care if they make it more resin to do it. It would just make it so much easier to grind instead of having to sit there and waste my time doing this shit. Like, why is that not a feature yet? Everyone talked about how much they loved it in Honkai. Why is it not a thing in Genshin yet? I just don't get it. It's the most tedious part of the game, and it makes you feel like you're doing a job instead of actually enjoying a fucking game, which is an issue with Genshin overall, is just half the time it feels like you're doing a second job over an actual game to relax and sit down and fuck with. Anyway, those are a lot of my Genshin things that need to be part of the game, honestly, like ASAP. And I don't know why it hasn't been a thing yet. And also, don't forget to subscribe. Be my submissive little, subscribe.